Let's go!
I gotta talk about, officially, this Street Fighter movie cast thing. It's been not at the tip of my thought process at all for a long time. We talked about it before when, like, 50 Cent is playing Balrog, and I was like, what? So I don't know much about the roster. I'm gonna look, and I'm gonna give some baseline opinions about what I'm looking at. From the early impressions of people that were being cast, it very much was looking like this entire cast is being booked almost like, for a lot of them, based on how many like Twitter or Instagram followers they have. Like, no kidding. It feels like the majority of the cast is just there so that a lot of the casting can be distributed to their Instagram accounts and all this kind of stuff. Put out into the ether so everyone's gonna see it no matter what. Like, almost like YouTube fan casting. What was it? Jason Momoa is Blanca? I'm like, what? I need to take a look at it. I need to see what's going on. Do I have any faith the movie is going to be good? I have a slight, this is a very small iota of faith that the movie could be marginally better than The Legend of Chun-Li. I think it could be, because The Legend of Chun-Li, I didn't even see it in full. It's so goddamn boring that it's like not even worth watching. It's so boring. The old Street Fighter 94-95 movie is like so bad it's good, but there's a problem even with me with the old Street Fighter movie. At so many points in that film, characters are literally about to fight and then something happens and interrupts them, and it's like, this is frustrating. I think there's going to be a lot of fighting in this new movie. I have no doubt about that. The quality of the fighting might be okay, but based on the way like the cast and roster looks, I'm assuming for this to be relatively comical. That's not a bad thing. It's 100% going to be more comedy focused, which I think is a good call. That in fact could be the saving grace of the movie, that the movie is not taking itself like super seriously. I think that could be a very probably worthwhile endeavor, because again, the marketing around the entire film is being marketed like Street Fighter 2. So some things I agree with here. However, there was only one Street Fighter movie I personally thought had a good chance of being really good outside of Assassin's Fist, which was pretty decent. And it was Raka Raka, yeah. And those guys, those twins from, I think they're from New Zealand or Australia, they ended up going into filmmaking. They made multiple movies. Those multiple movies did well. They were not able to fit in Street Fighter into that schedule. I love those guys' YouTube videos. Always liked them, dude. Like from the very beginning when they were doing all of their crazy skits and stuff, like their film style and editing and energy is just incredible. I could not believe it. When they were doing Street Fighter originally, I was like, damn, this could be cool, because they've already made some really fun Street Fighter stuff. I lost a lot of faith when they weren't involved anymore. So I think I need to get faith returned. I will be here to witness and review a trailer when it happens, but until that happens, let me just look at this roster for Street Fighter, and I'm going to give you some baseline opinions on what I'm feeling based on the folks that are in here. All right, yeah. Dude, I don't know who 3/4 of these people are. Yeah, they're clearly leaning into this Street Fighter 2 aspect a lot. I think there's quite a few comedians in here. Let me just click on this. Andrew Koji as Ryu. Okay. I don't think that's a comedian. I don't know of anything he's been in yet, but I think he's in some good stuff. Noah Centineo as Ken. Okay. He looks the part, don't get me wrong. He looks the part, but that's good that there's people we don't know. I actually think that is good. Kaliana Liang as Chun-Li. Not familiar. Cody Rhodes as Guile. How big is the hair gonna be, my dude? Orville Peck as Vega. 50 Cent as Isn't 50 Cent like 78 years old? He's getting up there. He's actually 50? Is he really? Unironically, he's 50. Oh, okay. Yo, 50, jump that big ass ramp. I don't hate it, but I'm also like, all right. Jason Momoa as... Are they gonna paint this bitch green? What the hell is this story gonna be like? Dude, this cast is all over the place. Vidyut Jamwal as Dalzim. Well, at least it's like cast appropriately, but Dalzim was much older too. Dalzim's kind of an old guy. He's like the old wizened sort of dude of the Street Fighter roster, outside of Gen. Oliver Richter's. It's really hard for me to think of anybody in the role of Zangief with not being the Bloodsport guy that dies, right? Remember the dude in Bloodsport, like the big guy that plays video games with Jean-Claude Van Damme? And quick, change the channel! Like, he's the dude that plays Geef in the Raul Julia Street Fighter movie. Funny enough, works with Jean-Claude Van Damme again. Geef's a very comical character, just straight up. I'm glad they paid him that way. They played him like a big dumb dude in the Street Fighter movie. He's 7'2" and buffed as hell. Is he an actor? He has to be. He has to be an actor. Right? There's one thing that it feels like a lot of this stuff is doing, getting people that really visually are close, right? They are visually close. Hiroki Goto, but all right. It's E Honda, dude. I don't think we're gonna get a giant section of the movie that's gonna be dedicated to E Honda. Is this the polka dot guy? He's good, but I've never seen this dude be like intimidating. Like, this guy's not a bad actor, but actually, I'm an idiot. I'm gonna say I'm an idiot. You know why? This dude in this role makes a lot more sense if all of the other, like, Shadowloo lackeys that are around him are incompetent, and he's like, you stupid idiots, you know, like for comedy purposes. In that sort of a role, I feel like it makes a bit of sense. I feel like it starts to be a little bit, maybe a little bit funnier. Roman Reigns as Akuma. Akuma's likely not going to be talking much. Roman Reigns is a wrestler, I guess naturally an actor. Akuma's more like shoosh and like, is he good on the mic? Okay. Dude, what is this dude going to look like with a wig? What is he going to look like with this big ass wig? Andrew Schultz as Dan Hibiki. I don't know who this is. Some comedian? Eric Andre as the background guy from the Vegas stage? Dude, this is so what the what? So much of this casting is like kind of nuts. It feels so marketable. Heavily coordinated marketing effort. This is how Eric Andre got the job. If this is him saying, I wish Chun-Li was real, I swear to God.
Awesome. So you're like, Hadouken! Yeah, you got the Hadoukens coming out? Hadouken! Sub-Zero! Hadouken! I'm Electric Blanca Sub-Zero! That's a different... I'm Chun-Li, I'm Sub-Zero! That's a different franchise.
Dude jokingly mentions Street Fighter once and qualified. It feels like he just wanted to be in it and they were like, what weird background characters are not important that we can make this dude play? And it's like this one. Add more Instagram followers that we can, you know, appease to or something. Mel Jarnson as Cammy. All right. Ray Vallandigham as Julie? Julie's gonna be in this? We're like hovering the alpha games? It's Killer Bee Cammy. I think they're definitely going to be having the Killer Bees under Bison, right? It's not going to be like post Killer Bee Cammy. Joe from Street Fighter 1? Bitch, are we going to put in Geki? Is Adon in this fucking movie? Like, that is the most uncelebrated fucking character in literal Street Fighter history, my dude. Anyway, Nakayama-san on set. That's cool. It just feels so fabricated. It feels so specifically like coordinated. Like it feels very corporate. Yeah, I am the chance. I think I'm interested to see because it's going to be like honorable. We knew that I knew I didn't want to see Legend of Chun-Li because Legend of Chun-Li was not going to be anything close to Street Fighter, and the amount of Street Fighter stuff in Legend of Chun-Li was minor. But the fact that they have so many people playing similar visual looking roles, right? Casting that's somewhat close but kind of crazy. Most of these people are going to be doing fighting of some kind. I really want to know what the script is. I really want to know what their choice is for a story. It almost feels like a parody. If there was an SNL sketch of Street Fighter, that like this is how it would be. But the problem is that it's not like a 5-minute SNL sketch. It is an 1.5 to 2 hour movie. So all I can say is that I'm moderately interested, but once again, I don't think the movie's going to be as good as like even the Street Fighter 94 movie, the Jean-Claude Van Damme one. Was that 94 or 95? The best Street Fighter movie is absolutely the animated movie. The first animated movie is great. The Alpha movie is ugh. And then there's one more after that with like Akuma. It was even worse. It's a bit doomery, but I am fascinated to see it. But it really feels like they had a big plan for Raka Raka to be the ones that were going to do it because they seemingly had an idea for Street Fighter, like a Street Fighter movie. They had an idea of how that could be. And then that fell through because they were too busy. They just didn't have time for it. The studio heads had to go back to the drawing board, and it feels like the most studio-y performative movie that you possibly could imagine. Almost guarantee that, holy crap, dude, that if Raka Raka was involved, that cast most likely would not have been the same way. It probably would have been very different.